So maybe at least some chance of getting some good points off of this race and try to limit the damage done in the championship by Jippo. But nonetheless, we're gonna begin the sprint race with 5 lights. And with no lights now, so Timbit and Oscar going into turn 1. Looks like Timbit got a really good start, but I don't know if it's gonna be enough to get the move done into turn 1. He did have the outside, now he has the inside, and he actually picks up the lead briefly, but they're still side by side. Timbit's teammate Pero will get P3 still, so the top 3 isn't really changing hands as the scoreboard is glitching, as is always the case here. But yeah, P1, 2, and 3 still staying like it started. That's a yellow flag in sector 2. It looks like Uni Virtuosi collided with each other, and we have a safety car yet again. So we didn't even last half a lap, and we're already having a safety car, as that's a retirement from Midodru going into the wall. Slowing down to snail's pace to draw out the dirty penalties, but the restart looks like it was very good from the Sharrows. Look at that, Oscar almost side by side going into the start-finish straight, but not really in the overtaking zone onto Timbit. But it looks like Pero is in a freeway battle for his P3, and it looks like Mr. Joy is going to get the upper hand here, and Pero losing a fuck ton of positions there. So Kukaracha gets 1 position, Danny got also into the mix, and somehow out of all of this Jippo lost 1 position, and now he's attacking Peril. So Peril got the worst outcome possible off of this restart. He's even on the better compound tire, and that's been spun in another battle that we haven't really seen. Oh my. So the unis don't have it really rough here. As Peril keeps losing positions, he's also on the better compound of tire. What is happening for the Dams driver? That's the most important question of all. And look at that, another battle, Jippo just diving into the inside of Danny. That was not the best overtaking maneuver, if I ever seen one, but I guess it worked without any penalties or damage, and the charge through the field is going to continue. Not quite that close to Kukaracha, but he does have the worst compound of tire compared to him, and still somehow he's making it work. So yeah, he's gonna go into the outside this time. Actually, Bois Baguette overshoots the corner and then comes back on the track very dangerously. I don't know if we can blame Jippo for tapping him, but I'm sure he should have gave at least some sort of space to him. Not want to really judge incidents, but that didn't look very clean from both sides. So Baguette's race is slowed down, and it's gonna fall into the clutches of the second train of cars forming after that collision. Fight for P4, but those 2 battles not separated by a big amount of time. And look at that, a spin from Kukaracha on the exit off that corner, instantly loses that position without a fight. So that's how easy it is to lose a position to Jippo. And yeah, he gets a free position like that. So another set of yellow flags. Don't know what happened there. It looks like Baguette is in the wall. Probably overshot the chicane, as most people do. And yeah, so the battle between Oscar and Joe is going to allow Jippo to close up even faster. Look at that, Joe making the move into the inside of the chicane, and he's gonna make it work. It doesn't look like Oscar is fighting back all that much. Joe has DRS as well. So the comeback will not come, as yeah, at least the top runners don't have many penalties. Back of the grid really does. I'm not really surprised from the Norwegian boys. And that's a DNF from Ben B. and Danny. I think there was a collision there at the back, and we have another safety car on lap 8. So yeah, probably a new strategy change, another reshuffle from the whole grid. They did last time. This race is indeed sponsored by Grid Jokes Instagram page with 10,000 followers, so definitely we're getting more and more famous as time goes on, but the most important thing to look at will be how people get on. It doesn't look like many penalties being issued out just yet, at least towards the front of the back. Kukracha does have a penalty, but we're not really counting that, so I guess it's gonna be a clean restart, not much battling going down into turn 1, but the battle for P3 will be very spicy as they almost go 3 wide, but they actually don't, so Oscar, Joe, and Timbit all stay in the same places, but Jippo fell down by 2 positions there, so very interesting stuff going on in the Primus. They are P5 and 6, so Kukracha actually got up 1 place, although he does have a penalty, so he's gonna be holding up everyone in the process, and it looks like the Primus are allowed to race each other. No team orders there. Look at that. Jeremy swiped the door closed onto Jippo at the exit of that corner. I think Jippo was actually forced to evacuate and brake, but an incident between Kukuracha and Oscar there, losing a front wing end plate. That promotes both the Primus up to P3 and 4, so they gain another set of 2 positions just for free. As that big incident really screwed up the race for Kukuracha and Oscar. Somehow, out of nowhere, the Norwegian boy got thrown into the mix and is now in the battle between him and Peril, and Kukuracha is looking to join in, not really able to, and Norwegian boy gets to move down on Peril, so out of nowhere he's in P7, and the unfortunate news for Timbit are that he does have a penalty and Mr. Joe doesn't. Let's see if that penalty, yeah, that's a corner cutting penalty, and as far as the Primus go, Danny boy for some reason has a drive through, and Jeremy and Jippo both have 3-second penalties, so it is going to be an on-track battle between those two for the podium positions, but if they slow each other down too much, they can lose a lot of positions, a lot of points in the constructors, so they really need to stop racing each other, or we're looking at another terrible, typical teammate incident, as was the example between the Univirtuosi. So we're going into the end of the race finally. Coming on to the last lap almost. Still no DRS, probably it won't be activated even for the last lap, but Mr. Joe still under 1 second between him and Timbit, and also Jeremy and Jippo really close to each other, so battle for pole is really open, and it looks like Jippo got another penalty, and there was some collision with a front wing falling off. I don't think it was Denny because he does have damage, but he somehow is going into the pit lane for some unknown reason. I don't know if he got literally pushed into it, but definitely a weekend to forget for the ARTs being in the last 2 places. Let's not continue with who must forget about this weekend, considering we're looking at the retirements of Univirtuosis and the Carlins performing not well. So we're in the middle of the last lap. Timbit still P1, but after the penalty, he will go down to P2. Kukuracha retired from the session. Thankfully, we can't have a safety car in the final sector, so we're gonna finish the race if they want it or not. But Mr. Joe is going to be the all-round winner of this weekend with having won 1 race due to penalties and being second in the other after penalties as well. So Mr. Joe advancing through the ranks, through the points, and yeah, Timbit is going to finish the race in P1, but it's not going to matter due to penalties. And so after a very consistent driver. We really need to praise that. And look at that. Actually, the Premas tried to do. Was that a team order thing? I'm not sure, but it looks like Jeremy finished P3 anyway. I don't know if that was a genuine battle or he was trying to let Jippo through, but Jippo lost a little bit of points there due to that run to the line battle. Okay, there were no team orders, so Jippo lost the points on his own. But yeah, Jippo extending the lead in the championship by quite a lot.